Hi. I just started listening to your teachings in April, and it's made a tremendous difference in my life, so thank you. And as I've been listening to all of this information, the laws of attraction make so much sense to me, particularly in this time period in human history.
Not particularly now, it's always been that way.
But that's my question. In the past, in humankind's history, there's been so much violence, and man's done so many obscene things to one another, and there's been genocide and slavery and the Holocaust. And so my question is, if we're here to live joyously and to create, how did we create that?
Well, sometimes this is a little hard to hear, but we think that you're really ready to hear it. So you were source before you were in this physical body, and then part of that source came to this body where you're in a leading edge environment, concluding yet new things that source is then going to and becoming. So source is always in its absence of resistance, riding the rocket of the expanded thought. The evolution of everything, the evolution of every species is about that. The one-celled organism, even though you wouldn't find its experience to be all that interesting, is having an experience and is launching new preferences which source is following. The cells in your body are having leading edge experiences, and so the evolution of the human form is happening, and source is riding that rocket and holding the vibrational stance of it while the rest of you catch up with the dream that your life has caused you to dream. Did you get that? If you can get into the rhythm of this thought, you will understand completely this cycle of life. So when you are in those terrible periods in time, and we have to tell you, your planet is at its all-time height of man's inhumanity to man. It has never been greater than it is today. Everything is greater today than it has ever been before, because this is the leading edge. So what happens is, with all of that inhumanity is coming so much desire from so many people lying in so many beds in so many parts of the world. And Source is hearing all of that and responding to it, so the energy of your planet is moving faster in this moment than ever before. Which means your vibrational relationship to that stream matters more today than it has ever mattered, because the stream's moving faster. If you're clinging like a rock to the bottom in this fast-moving current, you're having a horrible experience. And if you're riding the current, you're having a glorious experience. That's why the rich are so much richer, and the poor are so much poorer, and the well are so much weller, and the sick are so much sicker, and the clear are so much clearer, and the confused are so much more confused. In other words, look at the clarity of the children being born. There's never been anything like this generation coming forth now, in terms of clarity, in terms of purpose, in terms of certainty. They're hitting the ground running, you see. So now what do you do about it? In other words, you have options of going with the flow or clinging with the rocks. In other words, you have options, and depending upon what stance you take is the way you express your worldview. So when you decide to personally, which is all you can do, stop fussing and worrying about what happened before or even what's happening now, and you look for things that help you turn and go with the stream, then you get to live the benefit of all of that, you see. But then humans who figure out how to do that, who ride the waves and thrive, you feel guilty because you can't take everybody else with you. And we say, be the example of one who's riding the wave. And if anybody asks, tell them everything you know. But don't try to help those who are still paddling upstream. Understand, they're not going to hear you. Much of the world is, in fact, most of the world, doesn't know about the stream, which is odd because they are it. They don't know about their guidance system, which is odd because it's present within them every day. But instead, they have noticed that those conditions make them feel bad and those conditions make them feel good. So they set out to control conditions. They try to control conditions from this limited point of view of not understanding anything that was going on with anyone who launched those rockets. Yes?
I'm a designer, and I've been working with an architect who's trying to raise awareness about the prison industrial complex in this country and other countries, and how 1% of our population is incarcerated now, and the socioeconomic distortion of that, and et cetera, et cetera. So as I've been working with him, part of me feels passionate about that subject. As a designer, I think people locked away and punished, it's doing nothing for them, it's doing nothing for us, and they'll be out among us and just be resentful.
You're missing the point of that. If you were the owner of a hotel system, wouldn't you want people in those beds?
Yeah, exactly. So in doing this work with him, I think he's trying to make the rest of his particular profession and others aware of the injustice of that system.
But at the same time, the hotel owners have only one intention, and that is to make as many laws, make as many things as illegal as possible, to get more people in the beds. In other words, you think that it is about ideas of right and wrong or ideas of justice or injustice, but if you're looking at it purely from an economic model, and you are the owner of the hotel and you just want to get people in the beds, and you have a plan that's working pretty well to get them in the beds, appealing to them in terms of the rightness or the wrongness or what it's doing to the psyche of the population outside or inside is not really going to resonate with them, because they have another intention that is being satisfied in this way. As a mass consciousness, you can't even get together in your ideas about what's right and wrong. That's really the point that we were trying to humorously make with someone who is protecting stem cells, who's dropping bombs on people who have been in their bodies and alive for a very long time. In other words, you can't sort out that kind of rationale, because there is no rationale. The reason behind it is not the reason that is being stated. Mm-hmm. So when you begin to step back and understand that everyone is doing what suits them best, and that that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. In other words, there are selfish interests, and then you work to get your selfish interests in line with the universal flows, then you cannot lose in your endeavor. You don't have to get someone else to agree with you in order for you to thrive. You just have to stop pushing against the current that is keeping you from thriving. And nothing will keep you from thriving more than believing that the government or an environment of citizens has to change its belief and its laws before you can begin promoting something that you believe in. You have to see yourself as autonomous. You have to see yourself as separate from what anybody else is doing. You have to understand that there's just what you want and where you are in relationship to it. And when you become a vibrational match to what you want, the universal forces will find a way to deliver to you what you want. And you've got to stop thinking that others have to change their decisions and change their intentions in order to satisfy you. That's what's gone wrong with most of the world. You keep thinking that you need to take this body of people that's so wrong thinking and convince them of your right thinking, and they're over there sure that you're the one that's wrong and they're the ones that's right. And as long as you have this struggle going on, then you all hold yourselves apart from the well-being that could be yours, and you all blame each other for it. Right. You say, if we were wanting to guide your friend in a way that would break loose some things for him, we would say, this system of injustice, because it is, this system of injustice that is currently being called the system of justice will fall of its economic weight. It will. When citizens of your nation actually get a picture of how much of their lifestyle they are giving up. You know, the people of your nation are working many more hours for far less money. The money that they are receiving as compared to the value that they're getting from the money has changed so much, and it is largely because of the protectionism of your nation. Mm-hmm. The people that you have in jail and the bombs that you are building is sucking the dollars from your paychecks. That is the largest part of what's putting the financial pinch on the majority of your nation. And that pinch is about to pinch past the point of no return. In other words, people are not willing to give up everything that they're earning so that you can lock people up. They're just not willing to do that. So say to him, the pendulum is swinging. It is not something that we need to worry about much longer. And so if you're wanting to be of value, then talk about this hotel system that is called the jailing system, and help people to realize what large percentages of their earnings are going toward that, and before you know it, they will not be voting for any more of that or for any more of those who are voting for that. Mm-hmm. It's really quite simple. Everything is economics. And you know why we know that? Because everything comes from the individual perspective of self. And there is nothing that you feel more about. There are many things you care about. But there is very little in your modern society that touches you more than that which is economics, because it touches into so many of the aspects of your life experience. And so as you realize that everyone is selfishly oriented, and that's a good thing because you can only see through the eyes of self, and that everything is an economic model, and you begin to approach it in that way, then you begin to understand why it is that the pendulum swings. And then you don't ever need to worry about anything going too far one way, because whenever you know what you don't want, you always know what you do want. And when you know what you do want, you launch it into vibrational escrow. And even if you hold yourself as an entire generation in vibrational resistance to what you've put into vibrational escrow, the next generation will be born not in resistance to it, and what you put in vibrational escrow will then come about. You see how it works? So if you take a long view, you begin to understand there really is nothing to worry about. No matter how it looks right now, there really is nothing to worry about. And your worrying about it just pinches you off from your well-being now. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. We know that you have heard us, and we have been pleased with what we have accomplished as a result of our chewing here together today. We can feel that many of you have moved closer in understanding who you are. The emphasis that we've been offering here today is about acknowledging that the stream of well-being is flowing mightily, and that it has your best interests and everything that you want in stream, in mind, at heart. And as you begin to focus upon the stream and its meaning and how it got there and your relationship with it, and you begin to pay attention exclusively to how you feel, which is everything about your relationship with the stream, in far greater ease than you have previously imagined, you're going to begin to be the receiver of so many of the things that you've been asking for. And we want for you the manifestation of those relationships and those houses and those experiences. And most of all, we want for you the manifestation of the realization of who you really are. We want you to start being happy in the stream. We want you to begin to feel the exhilaration of life that you felt when you made the decision to come forth. As we've been visiting here today, talking about this stream endlessly, and one after another coming forward and saying, yes, but what about this problem, and what about this problem, and what about this problem? How does this problem relate to the stream, and how does this problem relate to the stream, and but what about this problem, and how does it relate to the stream? We want to say to you, those problems are your paddling upstream, period. In other words, they are the antithesis of the stream. They are the opposite of the stream. And as you get fixated on these problems you want to solve, you hold yourself longer in resistance to the solution that is already there and has been there for a very long time. You're going to get so good at just turning and turning and turning and turning that you will find solutions before problems have even manifested, and you will not even know you had a problem because the solution will get there simultaneously with the problem. Do you know that's happening to you already? Potential problems are being diverted by your attention to feeling good. And so, as we acknowledge what's in your vibrational escrow, we are thrilled. In fact, you give us the opportunity to live it, and it is a delicious place to be out there on your leading edge. But there is nothing that thrills us more than watching you in the moment make the deliberate intention to stop the resistance and begin slightly turning. Because that's where all of your power is. Right now, in this moment, right now. Oh, the stream will carry you, and it's good. We've seen it, it is. But all of your power is right now in the decision to feel worse or better, worse or better. And as you begin to apply that power, the well-being that has been lined up outside that door, as you begin to open it another crack and another crack and another crack, people are going to watch you, and you're going to look like the freak who's flying. To them, as they begin to see the magnificent things that they know you've been wanting begin to stream into your experience, they're going to say, how is it that you do that?